when we're doing the Qigong exercises, what those exercises are really doing is massaging our internal organs. So when we're doing rotational movements like this, what we're doing is we're stretching and pulling the intestines, the kidneys, the liver, the spleen, the stomach, and we're putting pressure on it in different directions. So we're either pushing it in or pulling it out, and this has given our organs down here a nice stretch. When we're doing these type of exercises, we're coming up here, then although we're also potentially working on these lower organs, we're also looking at the lung and the heart and how that operates. So as we go through the Qigong exercises, we should end up with a position where all our internal organs are being nicely massaged as we go through. What's important as well is we understand that the exercises will also help us with improving our breath. So as I say, we might start with a breath of 7, so 7 in, 7 out, and then as we get better, we improve that by increasing the number slowly over time, and we might, as I say, we might get to 16, 17, 18, whatever that figure is. And so we're slowly improving our lung capacity and our ability to take oxygen into the body, put it into the bloodstream. What we can also do is do some basic exercises which will force oxygen into certain parts of the body. So when we're breathing, we might only be able to breathe in that amount of oxygen, for example. And then as we want to use that then to expand our lungs, but it's quite hard because if all we do is breathe this amount in, how do we get to the point where we can breathe this much in? So some of the exercises will close off parts of the lungs, and we can see this if we feel this if we try some basic simple exercises. So what you can do is go into a front stance, and you take your right hand and put your palm forwards and your left hand palm down. You then take your right hand across to the centre of your body, and then you just breathe nice and deeply in through your nose and out through your nose. And then we swap over, so we now have our right leg forwards, our left arm comes forwards, right arm down, come across to the centre of our body, breathe in, and breathe out. So as you're doing these exercises here, so because my right hand is out, I'm feeling my left chest rise a lot more than my right. And then if I swap over, so I've got my left hand forward to the centre and breathing in, I can feel the right chest rising and falling. So as we breathe this amount of oxygen in, instead of half the oxygen going into each lung, we're now breathing this much in, and maybe this much is going into my right lung and a smaller amount going into my left lung. So what we're trying to do is shut off and restrict one side and open the other side out. And what this will do is it will exercise the lung and allow the lung to start taking more oxygen in. We can also do the same thing from the front and the back. So when we breathe normally, so if you just stand normally and breathe in, you take a deep breath, you can feel your chest rising, you breathe out, and the chest sinks. Now if I put my hands over my head in this position, and hopefully what you see on the camera is as I breathe in, so I'm putting my hands right above my head here towards the back, and I breathe in, hopefully you'll see the shoulders rise and fall as I breathe. What this exercise is doing is instead of having the oxygen coming towards the front part of the lung, it's pushing the oxygen towards the back part of the lung. So what you will have seen in COVID is when people got ill, they would have laid them on their front, and the reason that they're laying them on the front is because you get better oxygenation off the bloodstream by forcing the blood through the back of the lungs rather than the front of the lungs. Well, we don't have to lay on our front on a bed. What we can do is just put our hands over our head and force the oxygen into the rear part of our lungs, and therefore give better oxygenation to the blood. There are other exercises that we can do that will also help us to pull oxygen into different parts of the lung. So when we breathe normally, again we end up with the chest rising and falling. Okay, so we breathe in, and usually we're pulling our stomach in, and then we breathe out. But what we can also do is, as we breathe in, push the stomach out and breathe out. So we can either breathe in and pull our stomach in as we breathe, or we can breathe in and have the stomach pushed out. And what this will do is it'll pull the oxygen lower into the lungs as we need it.